Hello all and welcome to All Red. It's me, Sam, and Liverpool have a big problem on their hands, don't they? Yes, they do. They smashed the Canaries. Everybody knew that was going to happen, but we got a big problem. We have a huge problem. And that problem is named Connor Bradley. Connor Bradley is kind of ridiculous. He is so good at what he does, at his job. He goes in to, his annual review, and I can only imagine the plaudits. It's like, hey, we're going to make you a partner at the firm here. Connor Bradley is really good, and that's a big problem. That's a big problem for Liverpool, because what do you do with him now? Everybody's back. Everybody's back. Man, Robbo, Trent, Soboslai. Did you see the substitutions we were making? So, Connor Bradley, man of the match, had 2 assists, should have had 3. Gakpo. Should have had 3. He could have had 3. He already had 2 assists. 2 assists for a right back. An FA Cup match. Should have had 3. Could have had 3 assists. 3 assists, bro. Trent Alexander-Arnold's looking at those stats, salivating. He's jealous. I think here it is. Connor Bradley could be the key to the quadruple this year, right? And obviously it's not just him. But when you look at Connor Bradley and you look at everybody else that's like coming back from injury, it's like we are just stacked, which means we need as many games as possible to feed this machine that Klopp has built, because we just have so many good players. Like, get him all. I want everybody to start every match. Even with our front 3, it's like, how do you choose between Gakpo and Lucho and Jota and obviously Nunez? Salah's coming back. Now you have 5 viable strikers that could literally beat any defense. So, Connor Bradley, the best problem for Liverpool to have right now. We have too many good players. And it's always just a little sweeter when they come through the academy, which Connor Bradley is, the poster child right now. Obviously, Trent Alexander-Arnold is the dream, right? From, a child, a little baby boy, to full-fledged world-class player. And I think Connor Bradley's well on his way. So, 5-2, beating Norwich, as we should. Let's get the bad news out of the way first. 2 goals. We shouldn't be letting 2 goals in against an 8th place championship side. But, hey, they were good goals. I wasn't surprised that they scored, especially because our back line was just, a little all over the place. Virgil wasn't in there. But they did score against Verge. And, man, to beat Allison twice at Anfield, you gotta give the Canaries their plaudits. So, okay, that's the only bad news. The good news is we scored 5 goals. Probably should have scored 7 or 8, to be honest. Jota could have had a hat trick. Gakpo could have had 1 or 2. But the goals we did score, I thought, were just, just good goals. Nothing was lucky or, that goal wasn't very good. They were all 5 were just solid goals. The first goal from our new youngster over to Curtis Jones. That's how we should be scoring against a Norwich side. By the way, Curtis Jones, are you kidding me? How old is Curtis Jones? Is he like 22? Feels like he's 30. Curtis Jones is like an upgraded Gini Wijnaldum, right? Gini Wijnaldum was always kind of a crucial cog in our midfield. Always available, great on the ball. Nobody could ever get the ball off of him. And he would score like a couple times a year. Curtis Jones, I feel like, is just a class above Gini Wijnaldum. Now, Curtis Jones has never, done a full-fledged, amazing comeback against Barcelona in the Champions League. But, Gini's still a legend. But I feel like Curtis Jones on the day-to-day is an upgraded version of Wijnaldum. He is just so solid, and he is becoming increasingly more important in that midfield, which is just kind of crazy to say when you've got players like McAllister and Szoboszlai, and we got more problems in the midfield now because, we just, hey, maybe Trent is even ready to come. Connor Bradley is now our new right back, perhaps, and Trent is shifting to the midfield. We should talk about that later. Anyways, second goal was the goal of the match for me. A little bit against the run of play. Connor Bradley picks up the ball, gets just maybe the sweetest 1-2 I've ever seen. The defense doesn't expect him to carry the ball like that in such a tight angle, and yet he just I'm like, how's this kid like every touch is just perfect on the attack. Even especially that one he had for Gakpo, where the ball comes in and he's fully diving with his 2 feet out, perfectly put into Gakpo's plate, and Gakpo's cutting it with a steak knife, and he misses it. But Connor Bradley, that 1-2, it was so sweet, and the perfect ball into Darwin, and as soon as it goes into Darwin, you're thinking, Darwin, you better not. He's done it. Oh, yes, he's done it. Oh, let's go. That was one of the sweetest goals I've seen in a long time. Not just because of the skill and the difficulty, but because of who it was. It was Connor Bradley, and it was Darwin. Every Darwin goal just hits a little different, doesn't it? The third goal, Jota, just clinical. He is lethal. He is like a surgeon. And then we had Virgil. Just good to see Virg on the school sheet, wasn't it? And then Gravenberch. What do we say about Gravenberch? Here's what I say about Gravenberch. Gravenberch he's a talent. He's got it. I think he's got the engine. He's got the foundation. He just needs more time. He's young. He came in right at the end of the summer, and he just needs time. He's got it. I think he's got that it factor. You can see it when he gets on the ball. Those turns are clinical. But I think there's some chemistry that needs to happen there with the rest of the team. And I think a lot of people are starting to think like, Gravenberch, he doesn't have it. I don't think he's got it. I think he does. I think Gravenberch's gonna be a great player and just a really solid midfielder for us for a long time. I don't forget, there's something about having some chemistry between, country mates, if you will. And we've got a really good core of Dutch players now between Virgil, Gakpo, and Gravenberch, and I think there's some importance there. So we can look at Gravenberch's recent form, and really his form all year hasn't been anything too special, but I think it's great that he's getting these cup ties to really just bet in with the team. So keep on, Gravenberch. You're going to be great. Overall, it was an emotional game. Emotional. Every time they'd cut away to Klopp, I'm just like, I don't want to think about it. Don't make me think about it. But Anfield was sweet. The game was great. It was 5 goals. Anytime you score 5 goals, it's just fun. It's just fun. So on to the next round. We'll see. I think we've got Southampton or somebody else, and so our chances continue for the quad. I think that is my main focus right now is let's just keep winning, right? I think that should always be the focus for a team, but that's my focus especially right now. And I think the Reds can actually do it.